Hey everybody, thanks for checking out my video. So I haven't done a video in a while. I went to Mexico on vacation. Beautiful Sayulita down by Puerto Vallarta, gorgeous down there. And just haven't been doing them. I've almost done some for PGA Reignmakers on DraftKings because I opened up a lot of packs there and have some nice cards. And did win $750 in a contest there, I think last weekend. So I'm nicely profitable on that. But I have gotten more back into the Sorare football, soccer. I sold a lot of my Sorare basketball and baseball cards over the last couple of months, and I began buying these Sorare football again. I had dabbled in it previously, but I got a little more heavy into it. And unfortunately, the market, I sort of got in right when they incorporated the big European leagues with their own contests, and the market hasn't done great for the cards themselves. But they are giving away $5 worth of Ethereum and the Cap 240 each week, as well as the individual contests. So this week I had some nice hits finally, or some decent where I got more than one card. So let's draw those. Real quick, I'll go over what I did. So I cashed two cards that are tier fours, and then I hit the $5 threshold, 5 Ethereum threshold as well. One of them was the France Pro League, finished 103rd, 6.6 points away from tier three. What I did was I basically got lineups for each of the big ones. I haven't done Premier League and MLS yet, where I bought a goalie from each of them. And like I said, unfortunately, the market's gone down since then, which actually means it's a good time to be buying in now. And I have been reallocating and adding players as we go along, cheap ones. But some of the ones I got I'm down on. And meanwhile, I did make money on my basketball, my baseball ones, if you look back. But so here I had gotten this Diao and him from Claremont stack, and that came in well. I bought those a while ago. I bought this Lou Durant a while ago. I don't by a while ago I mean a month or two. This was a more recent pickup. Sanson, I think he was one. Is he the one that transferred from the Premier League? There's one of them that. Let me see. Yeah, he was on Aston Villa and not playing. He went to the back to the French league, and look what his numbers have been doing since he got there. And so for a cheap price, and he's a midfielder, um, for a cheap price, he's obviously performing for them and a key player for them already. I paid 0.0022 and it's currently 0.0036 floor, and it was higher even when he was on Aston Villa. So anyway, that's been a gomer for me. And then the key with that was a good one since I got it just recently. The key with these limited league ones is the common you use, the core one you use. And what's worked for me is getting the best player. I'm putting him on my amateur team and then having him in my pro team, and then fitting the team around that with cheaper players, which is what I tend to buy anyway, but still trying to get up to the cap level amount somewhere fairly near it. So for example, on this Messi, 92 points. So I score over 400, but I barely missed tier three on that. The amateur ones I haven't done particularly well. I mean, you got to hit top 200, but you can see here on the Bundesliga I hit top 2400 with 393 points. I was 43 away, which actually means I could have hit it. I swapped in Guerrero on Borussia for Schlotterbeck because he's hurt. Wirtz was a good pickup. This is a good pickup. Striker's been a problem on that with Bayern's issues going on with strikers. But anyway, so I also cashed in the Serie A one. Similarly, tier 4, 9 points away from tier 3. This one I actually have an Udinese stack. Goalie Wallace and Isaac Success, who, when he plays, have been putting up pretty good points. I mean, these are ones I got a little bit ago, so the prices are cheaper than what I paid for them. Sumaru, same thing, Sumaru. And then here I had Kim Min Jae and Osimhen from Napoli. And Osimhen's injured. I still haven't actually, I don't think, gotten rid of him on my amateur team, but this guy's been unbelievable. And so I stuck him in. He got me 100 points. So I got up to 362, got a fourth there, got 115th place. Premier League amateur. I kept having Kai Havertz on my team. I'm a Chelsea fan, but he's terrible. And Koulibaly's been good. I've had a problem with the goalie in that. So I like the core of Saka, Koulibaly, and Kane right now. But these two I made changes on. Serie A amateur not as super concerned. Like I said, only 200 people get those, and I have Osimhen who got hurt on that. So then the La Liga one, I thought I was going to cash in that as well to get 3 card prizes, but I didn't quite make it. I was 33 points away. Vinicius Jr. So you see that same strategy of a top amateur core player stuck in with other ones. This Fernandez on Osasuna hasn't been a good buy for me as a goalie because he was expensive, but he was putting up good numbers, but they've been sort of rotating goalies as far as I can tell. For not really any reason I can tell, because they were doing fine with him in there. So that's been a problem. Edu was a decent buy, Rodriguez. And then Zunal was a fairly expensive striker who went up even more, and he did really well. Last couple games he didn't. He's only 24. He's not quite. One thing you'll notice about almost all the players I bought is they're under 30, except for some goalies. And so then even if the market's down, they're still going to have use next year for me, and they may be improving, and some of them in particular maybe going to other teams type of thing. So I put up a nice 314 there, but missed cashing. It looks like it was about 350. On this one to cash, it was about 370. Or no, I'm sorry. This was to hit tier 4. But to get tier 5 on this was about 350. La Liga didn't do great this week. Had an issue because my midfielder had an issue with the midfielder on that. My MLS hasn't done great so far, just the amateur. I've got these 2 guys paired up from St. Louis who look good, and then the goalie, but filling in the spots. So then the 240, I did hit the threshold to get 5 Ethereum by 1.6 points. Now this one was ridiculous because the first 2 guys that registered scores were Mascarell at 84 and Sori Kaba at 72. So I'm like, I got 150 points already, 155. I'm like, I'm getting the 250 plus. I'm going to get some card. Well, then my MLS defender crapped out. My goalie did all right. And then Rubal, who's just, these 2 I've had for a long time. These 3 I've had for a long time. He got a red card, so I barely hung on to that, but at least I got the 5 back. This was a recent buy. These were 3 I've had for a long time. This was a recent buy. He's been a good goalie. He's in the Spanish 2nd division, though, and he's 35 or 36. The Sori Kaba, let me look at him real quick. So he's on Cardiff in the championship. I actually need to look at where their standing is. I think it's mid-table. I'd have to double check. So I got that for 0.022 a couple weeks ago. Actually, it's been a month by now. And it's up to 0.025. You can see it looks like when he's been playing, he gets good points. And he's a forward. And he's 27 now. But he had a bad game. Or he actually had 2 games in that game span. Mascarell is a guy who kind of came out of nowhere. I have had him forever. I bought him for 0.0024 back in February of last year. I think I started Sorare in about October of 2021, right when the crypto market was about peaking. So on a crypto basis, though, he's the same. On a dollar basis, he's less. But you can see he's gone up. But he's on Elche. I have to check there. They're near the relegation zone, but I haven't double checked on that. He's 30 now, but he had been a guy that had really put up steady numbers, but he's ramped it up recently. Low 53, 60s, 94, 84. And they're losing. So he's doing well for them. They got him playing center back now, it looks like. But he was 28 when I got the card. Now he's 30. How time passes. Let me see if there were any other interesting ones on those. Guido, but I overpaid a little bit for him. And again, this Udinese stack, so it's sort of like rides on what they do that week, and they have a tough game this week, I believe. And then this French stack has been good. This Mori Dial's been good. He's 23 now. Goalkeepers were 40, 50, so I paid near 40 for him. But in Ethereum, yeah, it was 0.026. He's 0.013 now. But he's only 29 years old, and he puts up really good numbers. Goalies, I mean, the market on some of these has gotten whacked, in particular goalies. Forwards, not quite as much, I don't think, because it's hard to find real cheap forwards that play. So that's 3 cashes. Let's see. French League Amateur. So you see, to fit Messi in there, I made some adjustments this week to that, but to fit Messi, you have to go cheap. I picked up picked up a PSG defender, and I got rid of Mandana, the goalie. Made some changes on that. All-Star Limited didn't have an extra. See, since I have a Bundesliga, I have like 6 active goalies, I think. Then so I didn't have enough goalies to fill in slots, so this one I just threw a team out there. But actually, this guy hadn't done. This is one I had from a long time ago. He got 70, and then this was a more recent one. He got 70. Rashani on Clermont also. So I have 3 Clermont in France, and I had paid 0.018. He's 0.006, so he's $1. I don't think he had done much until this game. Yeah, he had taken some games off from injury. But he's not bad. He's a defender. Oh no, he's a midfielder, so that's good too. It's harder to find midfielders, obviously, than defenders in general. This was a real cheap one too, Rodrigo Eli. Cap 270. This goalie's been good. Got him. He's in I think the Netherlands. He's in the Eredivisie. Let me see. Kortrijk. Paid 0.01. He's 0.0068. 30 years old. Vanderberg. You can see he started playing and he's been doing well. That's the Belgium League. And then this Kessler was a nice pickup. These are 2 MLS guys I got before the season. Kessler, he was up real high. I got him for $3.5. He went up to like $12. He went up to almost 20, 15, 20. I think I thought about selling him. I might have, probably should have, but he's back down to 0.045, but you can see he was putting up some really strong numbers. And his team's good. New England's good. Then the Canoes, they haven't been playing him as much, so that one hasn't done as well. I got that for $1 though, 0.00007. He's 0.009, and he had a few good games, but they're not starting him. If they would start him, it looks like he would do well. He's on DC United. This Gutas was another one I just got. So again, I was 134 points away. You basically needed to get 350 for this one as well, which is 70 each. So the Canoes, I think that means mistake led to a goal. This Gutas is in the Turkish league on SofaScore. I mean, these are ones where I paid 0.003. That's $5. He's down to 0.001, $1.73. And they're going to finish the Turkey League, as far as I can tell. They're going to make up for those games. I could be wrong. I haven't looked at the schedule in a little bit, but I believe they're going to make up games. But he got benched a couple, or no, that was in the Champions League. That might have been why I picked him up. He's got really good numbers. I mean, take out those 2. 44 low, 90 high, 50s. 29 years old. That's one to look at for a defender. And this Jose Arneas. Now, I do look at who's projected to start, and he was projected, but he was another one I got cheap. 0.004, $6, but he's down to 0.0008, $1.39. I mean, he's in the Spanish second division on Leganes. And you can see his numbers are really good too. I mean, good. A lot of 40s, but a lot of 60s and 70s. He just didn't start the last game, and they're not good. I have to double check the table on that. So anyway, that hurt my 270. Then my Bundesliga is probably the weakest of the big 5 ones. But I do have Florian Wirtz, but this goalie hasn't been very good. The other players haven't been very good. So they're pretty bargain basement, so that one didn't do well. Cap 220, that's one where I've been using the core goalie in general, and Ederson's been terrible. I dumped him off my team, but I've got Bazunu from the EPL, and if you can find a cheap goalie, then you can get better outfield players, or if you own one that's starting, but that can be trickier. This guy used to be a really good, steady 50, 60-point defender, but he had a bad week. He hadn't been playing as much. This Ravelson's been good. This Edu was a real cheap one. So there you needed 290 points to cash. So that's like, less than 60 each. And I did cash in the 220, or I came like a point away last week. I can't remember. Railson, Reelson, I got him for 0.0017, 270s at 0.0011, so basically $2. Plays in the French second division on Auxerre. That's the problem, but he's 26 years old, so he can go to a better team next season. And his numbers have been nice for a $2 guy. He's been and he had extremely low L15, so that was a good one to start in the low ones. But he's had some good games. And then Edu was another really cheap one. Sometimes I only had a little. That was a $2 one, 0.0013. He's currently 0.000470. Second division France on Ponferradina. Striker doesn't get it. I mean, he does decent, but he doesn't get all the playing time to get there. But he's young, 28. He's not young, but he's not old. Then my champion Europe again, don't have goalies, barely just thrown in anything I have on this. So Luperto had a big week. He's on Empoli. I've got two Empoli defenders, and he was the more expensive one. I actually paid 0.0069 for him, and he's down to 0.0013. Again, the market's down. I'm a good trader, and I haven't been flipping as much. But I mean, if you look at my other card games, and as I mentioned, the football, basketball, Top Shot, I trade well. And I think it's a good time to be buying these cards. I'm going to reallocate what I won. I'll show you what I'm going to open my price pack here in a second. Sorry. So I think when I got him, he was probably doing this stuff here. We dipped down, had an 85-point game. But definitely looks like I overpaid. That was when I was filling in the lineups, I'm sure. And then even more dregs on my Challenger Europe one. These bought him a long time ago. Bought him after he started a game or two, and they benched him again in Turkey. Turkey's bad for doing that with goalies. That was a speculative one. That's a Russian one I got a long time ago. I think that was a free one somebody gave me. So anyway, two nice hits, almost three, basically three, almost four really, because I almost cashed on one. So let's see what I got. So the tier 4, I haven't looked at what's in the tier 4s, but let's see if it's anybody good. So that's a coins. Gonna be a lot of coins. 1,100 coins. That's my Ethereum. 0.0026. And Ethereum just hit 2,000, back up to 1,900. Bitcoin's over 30. So, to some degree, this is Sorare is a crypto investment. It depends on if you're withdrawing or whatnot. So here, tier 4. I think this is gonna be a Serie A tier 4. So let's hope it's somebody good that's playing. Mario Pasalic on Atlanta. Let's see how he's doing. It's a good team. He's on Atlanta. His cards go for $4 currently. Been as high as 10-15. Let's see. Looks like he plays, but not starting that much. Yeah, it looks like he's coming on as a sub. So that's an issue with that one. Most likely wouldn't be getting into any of my lineups. I mean, it looks like when he plays, he gets really good points, and he's a midfielder, 28 years old. He looks younger. He's got a baby face. All right, so that one's okay. Let's see the other one's French. So let's see, defender, Marseille, Jonathan Klaus. I've heard of him. Look him up. Well, that's like an $8 card, so that's a good one. Been as high as 2025 last month. So that's a really good card, I think, potential-wise. Let's see how his performance has been. He's a defender, which is an issue because, again, it's harder. There's a lot of good defenders. But his last 15 is low, 49, so he gets a lot of 60s and 70s, so that's actually a good card. I kind of like that one. I'm not even sure if Marseille's still alive. I'd have to look at it. I get them and Lyon confused. But that's pretty good, like $12 worth of cards plus 5, so like $17 back this week. All right, that's it. Thanks for checking out my video. Oh, use my Sorare referral code to sign up. It'll be listed in the comments. You get a free card. You get free starter cards, but then you also get a free card once you buy like 5 cards, and I'll get a free card as well. And the cards can be worth hundreds of dollars, even just the limited level, which is what I'm working on. There's also levels above that, rare and things like that. So thanks for checking out my video. Have a good one. Feel free to put any comments, questions. Feel free to like, subscribe. Thanks. Have a good one.